Should I Roth my 401k? Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. On today's AdBits, I am going to be discussing whether you should make Roth contributions to your solo or even your regular 401k at work. And the Roth option has become super popular and will likely become even more popular starting in 2024 when employer plans will be able to offer Roth options for catch-up contributions for those over the age of 50, and will have the opportunity to start making matching contributions in Roth. So I wanted to chat and provide a pretty in-depth overview of the benefits of doing a Roth contribution to either your solo 401k or your regular 401k plan at work. So I think the best way to start today's podcast is give a brief overview of how the Roth IRA and Roth 401k rules work, and then we can dive into the benefits of doing Roth contributions. And of course, I'll touch as well on some of the potential negatives so we get a full in-depth overview of the pros and cons of the Roth. And then ultimately, I'll end with my thoughts and opinions. So let's start out at the beginning. What's a Roth? Roth was created in 1997 by Senator Roth. Basically, instead of making a pre-tax contribution where you get a tax deduction, and when you pull the money out after 59 and a half, the money you pull out subject to tax, the way the Roth was designed was to basically do the opposite. No tax deduction on the contribution, but so long as you're over 59 and a half and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, all the distributions from the Roth IRA or 401k are tax-free. So you pay no capital gains tax, no ordinary income tax, nothing, zero, zip, zilch, nothing. Okay, whereas if you look at a pre-tax IRA, a pre-tax 401k, you pull money out before 59 and a half, tax 10% early distribution penalty. If you pull money out after the age of 59 and a half, you still have income tax, ordinary income tax, not capital gains, but ordinary income tax. So the advantage of the Roth, obviously, straight away is if you can be patient and wait till you're 59 and a half, and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, it's all tax-free. Now, you may say, well, the thing you're not mentioning, Adam, is a pre-tax IRA or pre-tax 401k gets me a tax deduction. What's a tax deduction? It means it is a deduction that goes to lowering your potential taxable income, right? Deductions reduce your gross income, your taxable income. So in 2023, you can put away $22,500 or $30K if you're over 50 to a 401k as an employee deferral. That's sizable income tax deduction that helps reduce your taxable base. That is an advantage. Now with a Roth, you would not be able to make or take that deduction. So clearly that is a big advantage of the pre-tax over the Roth. But all you're doing is getting limited to that 22 or 30K max deduction. The idea, based off deferral, tax-free growth, patience, the fact that retirement accounts are usually open 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, the opportunity is that you're going to be able to generate a lot more tax savings over that period by being able to take out the Roth tax-free than that $20,000 to $30,000 deduction. Right? Think about it. If you have a 30% tax bracket, a $20,000 deduction is worth about $6,000, give or take. Okay. And then the idea, and then basically why I am being such a big fan of the Roth. I wrote a book on the Roth. In God we trust, in Roth we prosper. All my retirement accounts are in Roth. Why? I'm 48. I've been in Roth for, I've converted everything, but I started doing Roth contributions, 10 years ago. Do backdoor Roths and converted everything over the last 10 years to Roth. My thought and hope is that within the next 25 years, I'll be able to generate a lot more than a $6,000 or $10,000 benefit, tax benefit, by being able to pull that money out tax-free than getting a $5,000 or $6,000 deduction upfront. Some accountants may disagree with me, but that's my play. So what are some of the advantages of the Roth other than what I mentioned, clearly the tax-free growth? What I would say another benefit is from an income tax standpoint, if you are looking to keep your income low, basically for Social Security, Medicare purposes, Roth does not count as growth income. Okay, so if you're looking to keep an income level of below a certain amount for Medicare, Roth IRA is not income, so it doesn't count. So you can pull money out of your Roth IRA without increasing your tax base and threatening the Medicare surcharges or any other thresholds that you're concerned about. So that's a pretty big advantage. Roth contributions start that 5-year clock, right? So even if you're not sure what to do, by just doing some Roth contributions, you're going to start that 5-year clock. Obviously, for investment income, especially interest, it's tax-free, right? Interest income, if you're a hard money loan investor, interest income is ordinary income, not capital gains. If you're doing a Roth, it's all tax-free. Okay, so a lot of real estate investors, they'll push back and say, well, it's better to do real estate with non-retirement funds. You get deductions, accelerated depreciation, all that good stuff. Plus, you get the capital gains on the back end. That's more or less correct, although they don't usually mention depreciation with capture, which is a higher capital gains tax rate on the depreciation you took. But in a retirement account, especially a Roth, it's all tax-free. You don't have to worry about short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains, whether it's 15% or 23.8%. It's all zero in a Roth. So that's obviously, from an investment income standpoint, very beneficial. And another thing, estate planning, right? If you pass away and you leave your Roth to a non-spouse, they're going to have 10 years to pull that money out. Now, if it's a pre-tax IRA, they're going to have to pay tax on what they pull out. If it's a Roth, there's no tax. Okay, so that's pretty big. You're leaving your kids, your siblings, your friends, your church, whatever, you're leaving them tax-free money. So you don't have to worry about them having to use a bunch of all that money you save to pay the tax, right? Let's say, God forbid, you pass, you leave $1 million to your 3 kids, 350 grand each or so, and they start taking it out little by little. They're going to pay anywhere from 10 to 40% tax on that amount. That is literally going to pull that money out of their pocket, give it to Uncle Sam. So they're going to have a reduced amount as from a legacy payment. Whereas if you did a Roth, whatever they got would be tax-free. It's huge. It's a huge, huge, huge win for you, for your heirs. It's a great tax planning tool. Imagine telling your heirs, just like insurance, that, hey, this Roth IRA is like an insurance policy. You're not ever paying tax on it. All right. So it really works the same as an insurance policy. Insurance policies are tax-free upon death to the beneficiaries. Here, the beneficiaries of the Roth, the non-spouses, would have 10 years to pull that money out tax-free. It's a huge one. So when you add it all together, you talk about the fact that Roth IRA is not gross income for estate planning, for income thresholds for Medicare surcharges, estate planning benefits, the ability to literally pull that money out tax-free, the tax benefits from investment income, the ability to pull the contributions out also tax-free, even if it's before 59.5 in an IRA. All that, you add that together, the only disadvantage is you don't get that current tax deduction. But again, if you just do the math, if you put in 20K and you're at a 30% tax bracket, it's a $6,000 deduction. Now it's money, right? That's money that obviously you'd rather in your pocket than in the IRS's pocket. But if you're patient, you're young, and you feel like the Roth IRA is going to stay intact until you're in your 70s, 80s, or beyond, I just think the Roth wins every time. Okay. If you're not a patient person and you don't think you can trust yourself because you may take premature distributions from that Roth, then maybe you go pre-tax, you just lock in your tax deductions so you don't have to worry about what happens if you kind of lose your focus and pull the money out of the Roth prematurely and take away some of the Roth benefits. Whereas a current tax deduction, once you take it, the IRS can never pull it back, right? It's taken, you reduced your taxable income, you filed your tax return. So personally, my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I'm not telling anyone to do. I just think the Roth wins, especially if you're young and you're patient and you trust your ability to save and stay focused on the prize, be patient, be consistent, trust the process. The Roth's going to win. Of course, you can make horrible investment decisions. And in that case, maybe the current tax deduction wins. But assuming over the next 20, 30, 40 years, you're averaging 7 to 10%. You've had some losses. You've also had some wins. But you're pretty steady throughout the period. And you're patient. You'll be able to pull that money out tax-free. leave it as a tax-free legacy. If you want to maintain a low income threshold to take advantage of reduced Medicare payments, Roth income and Roth distributions are not treated as gross income on your 1040. So I just think all in all, the Roth really wins pretty handsomely over the pre-tax IRA, at least for me and my family. But obviously, it's up to you what you guys decide. But that's just my opinion, my thought. I literally think it's the system, especially the Roth system, is tilted in our favor. If you have strong beliefs on specific investments or just your investment strategies in the aggregate, then obviously being in Roth would be super tax advantageous because of the fact that everything will be tax free so long as you're over 59 and a half. The Roth's been open 5 years. I just think that's really the best legal tax shelter out there. Don't think, other than life insurance, you're not going to find a better tax shelter. The nice thing with the Roth is you can actually use the money while you're alive too, but you can also leave it as a tax-free estate planning benefit that has to be taken out within 10 years, but potentially all tax-free to your heirs. So thanks for listening, for watching on YouTube. I certainly appreciate that as well. Don't forget to leave a comment, question. I do my best to get back to everyone as quick as possible. And appreciate all your support. You guys are awesome. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for listening.